Episode 7 of Peacemaker Season 2, Like a Keith in the Night, is easily the most devastating and emotional chapter of the season so far. It's the penultimate episode, and James Gunn packs it with brutal action, twisted humor, shocking deaths, and a finale setup that leaves Chris Smith shattered. Let's break it down step by step, and then dive into what it all means. Today on MMX Night, we're breaking down Episode 7, what the story sets up for the finale, and why this might be the most important turning point in Chris Smith's journey. The episode opens on Earth X, a fascist alternate dimension where Nazis won World War II. Chris and Harcourt are stuck inside ARGUS headquarters, trying to escape. Harcourt's doppelganger gives orders to have them arrested, but Chris and Harcourt fight their way out, using a jetpack and the P-cycle in a chaotic chase scene. It's classic Peacemaker, violent, messy, and surprisingly heartfelt as Chris and Harcourt finally show real feelings for each other while on the run. Meanwhile, Adebayo is cornered by white supremacists but gets an unexpected savior, Judo Master. In one of the most satisfying moments of the season, he rescues her and fries her attackers by dropping a live wire into a pool. What follows is an unlikely alliance. The two bond over their history, even laughing about Adebayo tasering him back in Season 1. This dynamic adds humor in an otherwise grim story, and it even hints that Judo Master could join the 11th Street Kids for real. Back at Augie's mansion, things take a darker turn. Chris reveals the truth. He accidentally killed his Earth X double. Surprisingly, Augie believes him. This version of Chris's father, known as Blue Dragon, isn't the same hateful Nazi we saw in Season 1. Here, he actually shows compassion, telling Chris that he sees goodness in him and urging the group to return to their own dimension. It's the first time Chris has ever heard words of acceptance from a father figure, and it hits hard. But Keith, Chris's alternate universe brother, reacts very differently. To him, Chris is a monster who replaced his real brother. The family reunion spirals into betrayal when Earth X Vigilante suddenly bursts in and stabs Augie to death, mistaking him for an enemy. For Chris, it's like having the one decent version of his dad ripped away in an instant. The moment is shocking, messy, and heartbreaking. Exactly the kind of gut punch James Gunn is known for. Keith is pushed over the edge by his father's death. He launches a violent assault on Chris and his friends, fueled by rage and grief. The cops storm in as well, turning the mansion into a bloodbath. As the group makes their way toward the dimensional portal, Chris faces his worst nightmare, reliving the trauma of killing his brother when they were children. Keith beats Chris brutally until Harcourt, Adebayo, and Vigilante intervene. They nearly kill Keith in the process, but Chris breaks down, screaming at them to stop. He kneels beside his wounded brother, sobbing and apologizing. Cena delivers one of his most powerful performances here. Chris doesn't feel like a superhero. He feels cursed. In his mind, everyone close to him ends up dead. The group finally escapes through the portal back to their own Earth, but not without losses. Harcourt is the last to go through, nearly killing Keith before Fitzgibbon and the cops interrupt, leaving Keith alive but broken. On Earth X, we see him rush to an ambulance, meaning this isn't the last time we'll see him. Back in their own world, Chris does something shocking. He turns himself into Argus, claiming full responsibility for everything. He insists the others are innocent. Judo Master even backs up his story, but it doesn't matter. Chris believes he's poison to everyone he cares about. His self-blame and guilt push him to sacrifice his freedom in a desperate attempt to protect his friends. For the first time, Chris experienced what it's like to have a father believe in him, only for it to be ripped away. Losing Augie too and nearly killing Keith again crushes what little hope he had left. That's why he calls himself the Angel of Death in the teaser for Episode 8. He sees himself as the common thread in everyone's tragedy. At the same time, James Gunn confirmed that Augie's death wasn't just shock value. It's the origin story of Chris's new archenemy. Keith, alive and burning with rage, is set up to become a twisted villain across dimensions. A personal enemy, a brother who hates him, is far more terrifying than any generic supervillain. On top of that, Argus now controls the quantum, unfolding chamber. Flag Sr. clearly plans to use it for more dimensional travel, possibly even to find a reality where his son Rick Flag is still alive. That guarantees the finale won't just be personal drama. It's going to expand the DCU multiverse in wild ways. And that's the full breakdown of Peacemaker Episode 7, packed with big reveals, intense moments, and a finale setup that changes everything. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you won't miss more videos like this. See you in the next one. Peace.